Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, depending on when and where you're watching this. I bring you greetings from the United States, from the great state of Michigan, also known as the Mitten State. And you're watching Get Into It Live Chats with Kimberly Willis. And we talk about cancer conversations. We have cancer survivors, caregivers, nurses, doctors. And today we got the beauty industry. We've got makeup artists here today. So I am your host, Kimberly Willis. And I'm your wellness advocate. I'm here to really help you with all things with the cancer community. I help you with encouraging you through my books. I help you with Survivor and get your wear. Look, it's hoodie season, y'all. So make sure that you get your merch here all at survivorscorner.net. Make sure that you're following me on IG as well as on Facebook or even on YouTube. But enough about me. I want to make sure that you are liking, comment, and sharing this podcast today because we have a special guest. Again, we have someone in the beauty industry, and I thought it was very important to have someone outside of, not necessarily outside of the cancer community, but something a little bit different because I know a lot of cancer survivors and or caregivers that suffer through alopecia, through chemotherapy, or any other autoimmune disease, and they really have a hard time with really their beauty. They grieve it. So I thought it was fitting to have someone on the show today to really just kind of talk about that so you can get the hookup. So let's talk about our guest, Keisha Barber. She is a self-taught makeup artist and licensed esthetician from Detroit. She is an accomplished and creative artist with a passion for beauty. And after receiving her license from the Michigan College of Beauty, she decided to enhance her skills by enrolling in a prestigious program at the MU College of Makeup and Art and Design, formerly Complexions International in Toronto, Ontario. Listen, she got international training. She offers over 20 years of makeup artistry experience throughout training and education, where she learned proper application and techniques in bridal, fashion, and special effects, face shapes, and much more. She is always evolving in her craft and continues to excel in her field by achieving new thoughts and ideas through continued education, mentors, and peers. So I want to make sure before we put her on, so you can actually see her work, so you know that she is the real deal. Hold on, let's pull this up right now. All right, so let's bring on our guest, Keisha Barber. Hey, sis.
Hello there. How are you?
Good yourself?
Good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you on today to be able to talk about enhancing your beauty one stroke at a time.
Yes.
So, we heard about the professional side of you. Let's talk about the personal side of you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a mother who's single
Mhm.
because I
Okay.
know there's a difference
Yes.
of two beautiful, busy kids. My son is an athlete. My daughter sings with Detroit Youth Choir. So we are extremely just going in this house. I am the daughter of my father, who's a retired pastor. You
Hmm.
know him. And I have my sister who's also an event planner. So my family is just kind of well rounded and we stay busy. We're extremely close. And I'm just, excited about, where my business has taken me.
Hmm.
And I'm happy to have been able to do this business for 24 years now. So,
That's amazing.
mhm.
So, let's go back about your mommyhood because, one thing that I admired about you is that you support your career, but then you're also supporting your children's career. And you kind of brush past, one important detail. One of your children has been on America's Got Talent, got runner up with the Detroit Youth Choir. If you haven't seen them, you need to. They travel all over the country, has been in very prestigious areas. So tell us what it's like to kind of I almost do makeup on the road, because I know you probably have to do your daughter's makeup while on the road as well.
Yeah. Well, my daughter, Gabby, her name is Gabrielle. We call her Gabby, which fits her because she won't stop talking. But she started singing with Detroit Youth Choir when she was 8 years old, and she is now 14. So when she started, we were just kind of singing locally. I think they were doing like maybe some church traveling,
Mhm.
events. But in 2019, they competed on America's Got Talent, and they won the Golden Buzzer. I had not watched the show, so I didn't even know how important that part was. And I travel with her everywhere they go. So I was there when it happened. And I just kind of was like, what does this mean? Well, I found out when I came home that it was huge. It was such an amazing opportunity that just catapulted her talent to the next level. So, we were in California, they competed, they won second place. And after coming home, we were, since then they appeared on the Today Show. Um, they have won the Key to the City.
Mhm.
This year alone, she performed at Carnegie Hall in New York in June.
That's awesome.
She's done a 10-day residency in Vegas at the
Wow.
Paris Hotel. Yeah, so it's been a lot. And actually, I just got home with her, I think about 2 weeks ago. We were in California again because they're going to compete on America's Got Talent All Stars, which is going to be appearing January 2nd. So everybody watch that,
Yes.
because I think Detroit is going to be proud of how good they did. It was an amazing experience, and I'm just thankful that um, she has taken this opportunity and is just using it to build her resume as well, because this is something that she wants to do as a career. And for me, my mother, what I didn't take the traditional route with schooling. And I'm a big supporter of whatever your goals and dreams are. If you're going to take the necessary steps to do it the right way, then I'm going to support you. And that's what I do with her. I don't think that you have to take the traditional route to be successful. And I tell her that all the time. As long as you work hard and you're diligent and you're prayerful, and God has blessed you with the talent, then you can do it. And that's what she does. So yeah, I'm excited because I just see the growth and maturity with the choir and with her. And I think that, she's definitely going to go far with this. Yeah.
That's amazing. Shout out to Dr. Anthony White, who is overseer of everything, the founder of the Detroit Youth Choir. So shout out to you, and shout out to all of the parents that chaperones, because your life changed when you.
Yeah, our life did change. And it's funny because you said, I probably travel and have to do her makeup. Well, I absolutely have to do her makeup, but I taught her that, because you're a performer, and she attends now, she's a freshman at Detroit School of Arts. So she's a major, she's a dance major there. And I've taught her now that, okay, you can now learn how to do your makeup yourself. So I've been teaching her. She has her kit, because I believe it's okay for young girls to wear it if they know how to do it correctly. So
Yes.
that's what I'm doing with her. I'm like, okay, you don't want to overdo it. You want to be age appropriate, whatever they require of you, like her school. She just did a performance with them, and they were like, okay, we want hair back and a bun. We want red lipstick. We want, even tone skin. So she knows how to do that. So I don't have to do it as much anymore. She's learned how to kind of, gravitate to me doing it herself.
That's so good. And shout out to your son as well, because I know he's in basketball and so many other activities as well. So,
Girl,
Lisa, I know you have your hands full.
his basketball season was high school starts today. Actually, he has his first game this evening, and again, I am, momager. I am nurturing that gift. We are trying to get scholarships,
Yes.
and the way to do it is you got to be a student athlete. You can't do this without the grades. So they both are like 3.8 students right now.
That's amazing.
So and I tell them, as long as you follow the path,
Hmm.
the positive path, you'll be successful. So it's been happening. So I'm extremely grateful to God for blessing me with two kids that has kind of made my life, even with all the craziness of what we all do, it has made it a a little easier because they understand what they need to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that and what they need to do to get it done, and they're doing it. So I mean, and they're not that they perfect because
Mm-hmm.
they kids and they do get on my nerves sometimes, but they are, overall doing what they need to do to be successful in life, and I'm grateful for that.
That's so good. Talk to
Mhm.
us about how did you decide to get into the beauty industry?
Well, crazy. Well, not too much crazy. You knew my mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was the first lady of the church.
Mm-hmm.
She passed away in 2020, and she was very, very, very. I mean, well put together. I
Yes.
can't remember a time even growing up where things wasn't pristine or just with her. She never really left the house not looking, and it may not have been a full face of makeup, but she was going to make sure she was right. And
Yes.
so my mother was big on skincare. She used the best. She always wore her makeup and dressed nice. And I watched that growing up. And she was the first person who bought me, like, I think I was like 12, and my mother bought me a set of Clinique cleanser,
Mm-hmm.
toner, and moisturizer, and taught me and my sister how to take care of our skin and things like that. So watching her, I started sneaking and wearing it when I was like maybe about 12. I used to wear it to middle school, sneak and wear it, try to take it off when you get ready to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew because I was wearing blue eyeliner, girl. It was a mess. It was like, and I couldn't take it off good. And she would, fuss at me. But
Mm-hmm.
by the time, I think it was Easter Sunday, um, by the time I turned 13, she just was like, okay, you can wear eyeliner, you can wear a little light color lipstick. And then after that, it seemed like as I got older, I started adding more.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Mm-hmm.
long as I did it right, she didn't have a problem with it. So that's how I got into it. Well, fast forward to high school, I think I was the only girl in my school that was probably wearing makeup every day because I was, but not overdoing it. Just, I was putting on that eyeliner, I was putting on that lipstick. So when I graduated high school, a friend of mine went to cosmetology school, and she started learning how to do hair. So back then we used to have those hair wars, hair shows. You kind of younger than me. I don't know if you remember that,
I do.
but
I still have friends that go to them.
so yeah, she used to do those hair shows. And one day she called me out the blue and was like, um, I'm doing this hair show and I want you to do makeup for this hair show. And I was like, girl, I don't do makeup. And she's like, you do yours good. So come on. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. And so we went, girl. I think we went to CVS. I don't even know where we went. We bought the cheapest brushes
Mm-hmm.
and some little makeup. She wanted them to have glitter. I had never touched anybody else's face, and so I did the makeup for that show. I think she had 6 girls. I did all 6 girls, and
Wow.
from that, it was like heaven's gates open. Like, this is what you should be doing.
Wow.
And this was over 20 years ago, before social media, before, and I told my mom that I wanted to start doing makeup, and she went to the Mac store, and back then they had the little taco Mac box.
Mm-hmm.
She bought me the box, bought me a few things, and I started word of mouth, just going, doing weddings every weekend here and there. And then it just continued over the years. So I am extremely grateful. So I credit my mother, and I credit my friend who I went to high school with, that kind of got me started, and helped me acknowledge that this is a gift and I can do it. So yeah.
That's good. You know, I just think that's amazing that you had the investment from your mom. That's such a nugget that you have to surround yourself with people who is going to invest in you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we venture off into someone, and then all of a sudden you hear crickets, and then you won't hear from them until it's popular to like you. So
Exactly.
it's really dope that you had family and a friend to be
Mm-hmm.
able to, hey, let's take this to the next level. I see something in you, even if you didn't see it in yourself at first, but then once you got going, you saw it. So that's amazing. Let's dive into the makeup a little bit, because you talked about how your mom made sure that you had Clinique. And if Anyone who's ever had that, you find that at Macy's. So that stuff ain't cheap, right? So sometimes I notice that women and even men have a hard time. Should I go to the drugstore or should I do some of the higher end things? Talk about what is proper or the right way to go with purchasing makeup.
Well, I will say this because I think that when you first start, most women kind of do start with a drugstore in brand of makeup, which is fine because I think over the years the drugstore brands have gotten better
Hmm.
with their formulas and things like that. So I definitely think if you're going to do like a everyday type of thing where you're going to wear it every day, the drugstore brand is fine to do. Um, but if this is something that you like, some foundations and things like that, you can tell the difference between
Hmm.
a drugstore brand and a higher end brand.
Yeah.
So when you try it and you see, well, the drugstore brand looks good, but then when you try something like NARS, um, Laura Mercier, or even Gucci foundation, you're going to really tell the difference. And I tell people, if you're going to wear this, don't be afraid to invest in something good.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to use, but I always think that when if you're a person that wears eyeshadow,
Hmm.
then buy yourself some quality brand eyeshadow. You don't need to go to the drugstore brand or um, the beauty supply store. Absolutely not. But if it's something that you like and you know I'm going to wear it often, I think that you should invest in something good.
Yeah.
It's a quality brand. You know that it's going to look good. You know that, but like to run errands and things like that, or I'm going to my son's basketball game, I may just throw on some Maybelline tinted moisturizer. I may not do a
Mhm.
whole lot. So, there's pros and cons to both. But I definitely think that if it's something that you gonna wear all the time or often, or you go out a lot, or you do like what you do,
Mhm.
you're a pastor's wife, you're doing events, you're doing things like that, then yes, you should definitely invest in quality brand products. So yeah, don't go the cheap route.
Listen, so you came in clutch in a sensitive part in my life.
Mhm,
So when one of the biggest things when I was fighting cancer, I didn't want to look sick. I wanted
mhm,
to look like business was normal.
mhm,
At that, and part of the reason was because I was private about it at first. My church family didn't know. My husband had just started pastoring. My kids didn't know, and
mhm,
I wanted to be normal. So once I knew that I had to start taking chemotherapy, and I knew my hair was going to go, I was
mhm,
already prepared. My cousin, who's actually going to be on the show next week, we already had a wig set up. She didn't know it at
mhm,
the time, but I already had the wig in the works. So I was like, okay, the hair
mhm,
is gonna be fine. But for some reason, it didn't dawn on me that my eyebrows was gonna go, my lashes
mhm,
was gonna go, and literally everywhere that you have hair is gonna go.
mhm,
So I remember having a conversation with you and letting you know about what was going on with me. And we did a one-on-one session. And I haven't looked back since. Like the way I think about makeup is different. Like at first, I was not into lashes because some people don't know how to wear lashes. They look like they're wearing
mhm.
like windshield wipers. And,
Right.
you had really opened my eyes to that. So, talk about your one on one sessions and how those who are suffering with alopecia is able to enhance their beauty without them looking like a totally different person.
Well, first let me say when you called me and told me about what was going on with you, I am very sensitive to, when someone is going through something and nobody knew. It was kind of like not a secret, but just private. And
Mhm.
you expressed to me how you wanted to look like yourself. So one thing that when I do a makeup session 101, and even when I do clients, I am big on all my clients should not look alike and
Mhm.
all my clients should look like themselves. Now, they're not going to look how they look without makeup, but they should still look like themselves.
Right.
So um, I knew that I know that it's not something that you are going to do every day. Like when I do a client, what I do, you're not going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of fill out the client, which is what I did with you, to see what do you like, what do you were really concerned about the eyebrows
Mm-hmm.
and the lashes and things, and then so whatever the focus is, what you want to focus on, that's what I spend the most time on,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like even if you didn't wear makeup, Kim, like when you were going through that, you could have did your eyebrows and maybe some eyeliner and been fine going out. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
think I probably told you that, like, you don't have to do a whole lot. You could do a little bit to just enhance, especially when you're going through something like that, and it will make a big difference in how you feel
Mm-hmm.
every day. And your day to day, you won't be so self-conscious going out the door. And that's what I really try to focus on with clients who's dealing with alopecia, cancer, and just women who not going through a health thing, but they may be feeling like, I want to do something, but I don't want it to be too much, because everybody has in their mind, well, not everybody, I'll say a lot of women have in their mind that it don't take all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes it may take not all that, but it takes some of that
Right.
to get you where you feel not. And we're not trying to say that makeup make you feel good. No, but you get a spark about yourself, like, especially when you're going through the alopecia or cancer, that, ooh, I don't look sick.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to look sick.
Right.
Okay, so you want to bring life back into your face,
Yeah.
and that's what I try to focus on is, what's going to make you feel comfortable, what's not going to be too much, what is something that you're going to do, because I don't want to teach you something that you're not going to do, that you like, I'm not going to do that, like
Mm-hmm.
contouring.
Yeah.
Everybody need to be contoured every day.
Right.
Why do you think you need to be contoured? You don't need to do that. But if you're taking pictures, you're going to an event, you're going to be photographed, then yeah, let's work on that. But for every day, my main thing is, let's bring life back into your face, because you may be feeling dull, you may be feeling pale,
Mm-hmm.
so that's my main thing. What can I do to just help you enhance what you already have, because it's not like the features are not there, they're there, you just want to enhance them. So that's
Absolutely.
what I focus on.
Well, I'm gonna say that you helped me feel good. So listen, makeup made me feel good, okay? So it's something like when, and it's not a conceited thing. It's like when you get all done up, like everyone knows when you put on your outfit, your hair is done, if you have your nails done, and if you got your face done, you start to walk a little bit different.
You
And it's
do.
okay. You know what I'm
You
saying? It's
do.
okay to
And
be
that's
that
what I
way.
think that they don't understand. It's like, it's not like you got to have a whole, it's just like today, I'm a makeup artist and I barely wear makeup sometimes. Okay. And you've seen me, you've been around me where I'm just like, because sometimes you want your skin to breathe. But if I'm going out or if I'm doing something, you know, like me, I've changed my hair that I was self conscious about in the beginning.
Hmm.
But I put a little lipstick on, put a little eyeliner on. I mean, it just make you feel a little better. Not
Yes.
cocky, not conceited. Just I feel a little better. I feel like I look a little better for me, not other
Hmm.
people, for me. So that part is what I think people need to understand.
Listen, everybody, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the comments. We'll be able to see it. She'll answer your questions, or myself, to be able to, keep this interactive. I want
Hmm.
to talk about the stigmas of makeup, because you'll, I could only imagine you might have clients that will come sit in your chair and say, I want to look like Kim Kardashian, or I want to look like Lexi, or I want to look like this and that, but I don't want all this makeup. And then you tell them they actually got a full face on. So talk to us about the stigma of makeup.
I think that most clients who don't have never had their makeup done, or never worn makeup, their first statement is, I don't need a lot, or I don't want a lot, but they'll send a picture and say, I want it to look like this.
Hmm.
And I contact them and say, you can get that, but just know that that's a lot of makeup.
Hmm.
It's not like it's just because it's not colorful don't mean it's a lot. It's it's a full face
Yeah.
of makeup. So they'll say, can you just do eyes? Or can you just do this? I don't do that because I'm not gonna do your eyes and you go put on the wrong color foundation and you go say I did your makeup because you no. Because no. But the the stigma of, you know, I think that if we get out of thinking that I want to look like these people, I want to look like that, but I don't think it take all that for me.
Mm-hmm.
That part, because everybody's different. Everybody's
Right.
skin is different. Everybody's facial shape is different. So that's why I go back to I try to make everyone look like them and give them a customized look for them. Because you can bring me a picture of a celebrity and I'll say, yeah, that's a nice look.
Mm-hmm.
And we could do that. But just know your eyes may not look like hers because your eyes is a hooded lid and hers is not. She
Mm-hmm.
had, so it's not going to look the exact same. So I try to be honest with people and tell them, just I work better when you just let me free flow, you
Yes.
know, because I get a feel for the client. You get a feel for their personality.
Mm-hmm.
You get a feel for even if they're a person that doesn't wear makeup and you're talking to them, what do you do? What kind of work do you do? And if they're going out, you get I can kind of discern a spirit and say, she's not gonna want all of this, or she like me, she'll take it a step further. You can discern if a person, will. So I kind of do that, and
Mm-hmm.
and I ask them, do you have a look in mind, or do you want me to free flow?
Mm-hmm.
And I go by that. So if they show me a look, I'll be completely honest with. I look at their face and look at the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't look, I'm always amazed when people bring me a picture of somebody that don't look nothing like them. So you can't bring me a picture of Kim Kardashian. That's like me bringing somebody a picture of Kim Kardashian. I don't look like that lady.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to look the same. So, I rather work, you know, let me flow. And it always turns out better that way. If somebody brings me a picture or say, well, yeah, it's fine. I can do that. But I feel like if it's a person that does not wear makeup, if you let me free flow and feel how, feel you out, then we can go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tell them that's a lot of makeup. The picture you show me, trust me, they have on a lot of makeup. So
Yes.
yeah,
And we're going to talk about hygiene a little bit later when it comes.
girl.
that's a whole that's a whole another segment. Um, so you talked about tailor-mating, all of your clients, which is amazing because again, you want them to look like themselves. But when it comes to those who are dealing with alopecia, have you noticed that there's a certain theme of concerns that they are faced with that they bring to your attention?
Yeah, everybody is different though. I have my client actually that you showed the video of before we started. She is like my inspiration when it comes to alopecia. And I don't know if she's watching this. Hey Tam, but she is extremely confident in, in her look, in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And she has told the story and shared her story about, growing up and getting to the point where she stopped wearing wigs, stopped and just, you know, embraced her baldness. I think that everybody is not there. So, again, I handle everybody differently. Your bedside manner is very different with everybody because, some people don't have lashes, some people do have lashes. There's different levels to alopecia. So I'm just very, very, aware and cautious, and I will talk to them, about again, and I use it kind of the same way. What are some things that you want to enhance, maybe more than others?
Mm-hmm.
I think when you don't have any hair on your face at all, it can look very startling. So, if you add brows that may be too dark, it could look scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just want to be very cautious on how you treat the client and what you do because you don't want them to feel worse after the experience with the artist.
Yeah.
So I'm very aware, and I make myself aware, and I have conversations with the client and I, see what they would like to try. And like Tam, she try anything now. It's like, we could do a full glam, we could do a natural glam, she could do color. And, when you don't usually do things like that, it could be a little, startling. But I
Mhm.
try and get them comfortable with me first.
Yeah.
Trust me. Trust that I'm not going to, just do anything that's going to make you feel worse or bad after the experience you've had with me. That's my
Yeah.
thing.
That's so good. I also love with makeup, there is so many options. So, like again, like you talked about, like if I didn't want to wear lashes, I can wear eyeliner. But
Yes.
talk about it's I call it a new trend, but I think I absolutely love it. It's like the next best thing since sliced bread. So talk about makeup microblading a little bit. So if you are suffering with alopecia or not, because everyone's getting it, talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I took training and got certified with ombre brows and microblading from the best in the city, Naughty B. Shout out to Naughty.
Yes.
And what I learned with the microblading is, and ombre, I prefer to do just ombre brows.
Hmm.
And I prefer to do ombre because it's less traumatic to the skin, is done more like a tattoo rather than with the microblading, it's done with a small blade.
Hmm.
And it all skin types can get ombre. And I believe with the it's a permanent brow. I believe with that, just like yourself, because you had it done, is one less thing you have to worry about.
Yes. It saves so
If
much time.
yes, if and even women that don't have any type of alopecia or dealing with cancer, that may have no brows or very thin brows, and that's something that they would like to do, I think it's definitely worth the investment
Hmm.
to get it done. And it's kind of your start because I always say the windows is the eye to the soul from like right here, this area right here.
Hmm.
And you don't want that area to be bare as a woman. So I believe that the ombre, which is what I prefer to do, I was trained on both, but I prefer to do ombre. Um, just gives you a little extra confidence,
Hmm.
a little less time that you have to, worry about that in the morning, and it gives you a look that I think boosts your confidence
Hmm.
when you get it done. So um, you definitely have to do your research and go to the right person because it's something that's permanently done on your face, and you don't want it to be too big or too small or the wrong color or so you have to get with somebody that you trust. So when I do those consultations, I try to make sure that I have in depth, make sure I answer every question, dot every I, cross every T, because I want that client to be happy with the result of it. And so far, so
Good.
good with that. So yeah, I love the ombre. That's one of my favorite things to do now. Actually, is you know, it's minimal pain. You
Hmm.
had it done. It's done with a numbing cream. So it sounds painful to people because you say it's done similar to a tattoo. They're like, oh, needle, no.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
no. If you get a person that's gentle
Hmm.
and again have a great bedside manner that is going to be gentle with their client, then I don't think you'll have any problems if it's something that a client would like to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It said Tisha Hammond said, "Great day, Queens. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining us today."
Hi, Tisha.
So listen, again, having those options is really amazing to have. Just because again, if you get the microblading, it's one less thing that you have to worry about doing. But I like that you said that you have to do your research, and especially with microblading, and really even with just makeup. Period. I think it's very important to make sure that the client or that the artist is it can actually do the work that you are looking for. I things that I looked for and how I ended up with you is that I looked at your work, I look at your pages. Have you dealt with someone with my complexion? Because I'm not trying to look like Casper, you know what I'm saying? You want to make
Exactly.
sure that whoever the artist is can really match your foundation properly and at least have the education to really know how they're doing it. If you're getting
Mhm.
microblading, if they're not mapping, hey, you may not want to go to them, because I've seen some interesting micro blading jobs. And again, that's permanent. So really make
Mhm.
sure that you're doing your research with making sure that whatever that you get, especially if it's permanent, that you're doing the right things to make sure it's good.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that with the permanent, um, it's been around for a long time, but I think that a lot of women, maybe in our community, are just within the last couple of years starting to do some of the things that's been around for a long time because you know the trends change and first it was like I want a beat brow with makeup, but now people are like I want a permanent brow, a
Mhm,
permanent beat brow. So um, I definitely think that microblading and doing the ombre brow is something that is going to be around for a long time. I don't think that's a trend that's going to go away because, again, dealing with people that have certain health issues or
mhm.
things like that, it takes a while, even cancer patients, for the hair to grow back, and sometimes it may not grow back, and it grow back very thin. So I think this just give women and men, because some men are doing it as well.
Mhm.
It gives them options, if they don't want to do like the regular makeup, to do this, and you have that look every day. So
Yeah. I like that you use the word investment, and because that's very important, especially
mhm,
when you do anything with the beauty industry, you get what you pay for.
mhm.
So if you are just trying to go to someone for the low low, you're going to get the low low look. So make sure that you are really making sure that you are investing into a proper look so you really look like yourself. And again, you're not going to have very interesting experiences with your face with that. Tisha said it's good to hear these options. Thank you for speaking about makeup artistry from this perspective.
Oh, you are welcome.
So I want to know, has working with the cancer community and those dealing with autoimmune disorders, has it changed your approach to doing makeup?
It has, because when I first started, I never had any clients that were cancer survivors or alopecia or any other autoimmune um, diseases. I didn't have that until maybe the last 10 years. So you actually have to. Me, I had to learn, because if you don't have anything there,
Mhm.
this is where your artistry comes in.
Yeah.
And can you really see where it's supposed to go?
Mhm.
Can you, because if you mess that up, that kills their spirit.
Mhm.
So I am very aware, and it's changed how I, do my business. I continue to study, I continue to read, I continue to do research so that I can make the best decisions and give my clients the best option when they're going through things like that. Because you want them to feel good. So I think that you know, as we move forward, it gives more women confidence that if they are if they are dealing with alopecia, that they can go ahead and shave your head off, girl.
Mhm.
If it's coming out, you help boost their confidence to let them know ain't gonna change the face card.
Right,
Okay,
right, right.
give them it helps build them that confidence. So that's where I am with my business of helping the survivors and alopecia clients, is helping to boost their esteem rather than making them feel like, well, you could do this to make it look better.
Mhm.
Watch your
Mhm.
words. Not make
Yeah.
it look better. It's enhanced, and I think that's where education comes in. Because now everybody is a makeup artist.
YouTube has
If
helped
you
us all.
yeah, if everybody, but do everybody have the correct bedside manner to
Yes.
know how to give your client the best experience possible with this, so that they don't feel like while you're doing it, you telling them all the negative things and they supposed to feel good after. No, no,
Mhm.
you don't want to do that. So it's helped me change in that way.
Yeah,
And it comes with maturity and growth with the business.
that's so good. I want to personally just thank you for what you have done for me, and how you have. I've always been a confident person, but
Mm-hmm.
when you go through life changing events, um, things change. People say, well, you're you're beautiful without all of that and things like that. Yeah, but when you're used to presenting yourself a certain way, it kind of rocks you. So like there was a few people that really was instrumental in making me feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously was one of them, because you gave me options to present myself again. My husband was another one, who did that. My hairstylist was another one that has helped me with that. So um, random people who would just say I'm beautiful when I didn't have makeup and when I
Mm-hmm.
did have makeup. What you said about using a choice of words is so very important about
Mm-hmm.
encouraging those who are going through, because you really don't know what people are going through. Y-
Absolutely.
like when I finally talked about and was open about my cancer diagnosis, people were blown away because they really didn't know. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, because I went to Keisha Barber, she made me like look normal. That's why y'all didn't know. Y'all just thought I just enhanced my makeup skills. No, it's because I got training. And I just want to again just publicly thank you
Oh,
for
you
what
are
you have
welcome.
done.
You are welcome. I'll tell you this: when you called me, I think that too. We knew each other, but had never been in that close proximity. So it was. But your personality was you came with a positive attitude. You were not sad,
Hmm.
and I think that makes a difference. You were
Hmm.
not feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
You just were like, I'm going through this, and I don't want to look sick. I want to just, it was just regular girl talk, and I think that's what made it easy for me to flow with you because you was like, yeah, girl, I ain't trying to, it was just regular girl talk. It wasn't even like we were talking about cancer.
Yeah.
It was just, this is something I want to learn because, I don't want, and it just made it easier for me to teach you how to do the few things that I taught you. Because now when I see your picture, I'd be looking like, that girl don't never have to call me.
No, I need to. I need to. I
You
still
killing
need
it. You be
to.
killing it, Kim.
I appreciate, I ended up falling in love with makeup. Like I've always
Mm,
worn makeup before, but when you learn to do it right, oh man, it just changed the game for me. And
yeah.
it's really all about referrals because I had a really bad day. I remember calling my sister Stephanie, because my eyelashes started coming off and I
Mm,
was boohooing because I was like, I cannot believe this is happening right now. And she was like, hey, have you thought about Keisha? She's the one who really put you on my radar.
oh,
So
thank you, Stephanie.
it's very powerful to refer people to different things. So I try to make it my business, such as platforms like this, to make sure people are aware of local and national people who do different things. And because I sat in your chair and I fell in love with makeup, now like my energy is like, you taught me how to really shop for different makeup. So like we started with Urban Decay, which is not
Mm,
necessarily a cheap thing. I invested into a quality thing. So then now I wear things such as Sarcastic. So shout out to Shayna
shout out to
Wilson
Shayna.
Williams and Geek
Mhm.
Cosmetics. So you got Lexi, who's the CEO of that brand. So there are black owned companies and other
Mhm.
local companies that you can really invest in and have a word of mouth. Like it's really important to do this. So talk about the power of your words about really referring. How has your business um, evolved because of that?
My business to me, I would say, because again, I started when was no social media or
Mhm.
anything. I don't even think I had business cards in the beginning. It just was all word of mouth. And I believe, and this is something that I think I'm going to believe for a long time, is you can do great work because a lot of people, do what I do.
Mhm.
But it has to be your personality and how you make your client feel, which is
Yes.
what's going to be keep your business going.
Mhm.
I believe that the majority of my business, yes, I post pictures and everything, but I believe that the majority of my business has been referrals. Because sometimes I forget to post. Honestly, I think I got hundreds of pictures of clients that probably wondering why she ain't post my picture. I forgot. My kid got a game, my daughter got to sing. But when I get that phone call from a person that says, so and so referred me, and I get that every month where somebody referred somebody else and that person referred somebody else, that to me has been the blessing, the biggest blessing for my business. And I think that comes with your conversation when they're in your chair,
Yeah.
how you talk, your bedside manner. um, I try to make absolutely every client feel like they are the only client I have. Um, I believe that that is why the referral business is extremely important because, yeah, you're going to see some pictures, but when you come, I'm going to make you feel like you the best person in the world. And that's not fake, phony, or nothing. That's me knowing that every client is important. You
Yes.
know, no one person is more important than the other. Um, Being on time, not having people sitting there waiting. And me, if I'm running late with behind on a client, I will text that next client, hey, you could stop for a cup of coffee or something. I'm running about 10 minutes behind. I'm a big believer in that, in showing courtesy to other people because not only do I not want them to waste my time, I don't want to waste their time. And to me, that's all part of the color flow experience is when they come in that studio, making them feel like, they are the best and giving them the best service. And I talk the whole time. So it's been so many times where I've been talking and I'm doing their face. And when I give them the mirror, they're like, wow, I didn't even know you was doing all that. Cause girl, we was just talking and it didn't even feel like, you know, I'm, I believe in being gentle.
Yeah.
I'm not about to turn your head. Can you hold your head? No, I believe all of that goes into how you are going to be referred because um, when somebody refer you, they gonna tell a girl everything. Now, girl, she good, but I'm gonna tell you she be late. Or girl, she good. I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna say that about me. You're not gonna say she good, but her studio dirty. Oh, she good, but she don't. No, I want them to say, go see Keisha, and that you ain't gotta say nothing about. Just go see Keisha. That's all you need to see. So, um, the referral business, the referral part of my business is like extremely important. A lot of people don't give out their personal number anymore. They don't want to talk to a client. If when I answer my phone, if somebody say so and so gave me your number, I'm not about to be mad. Well, can you go there? No, I'm gonna have a conversation. I don't go straight. Go to my website. No, I'm gonna have a conversation with that
Yeah.
person. I'm going to answer their questions, and if I'm working, I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm with a client right now. Is it okay if I give you a call back?" And I'm going to call them back.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't want to take the time to do that anymore. Well, that's your business. You treat everybody like they're important. So I think that's what we're getting away from in today's time.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to talk to their client.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to them. They don't want to. They like everything on the website. But sometimes, if it's a person that's dealing with, you never know what they're dealing with. If it's a person that's
Right.
dealing with cancer, or if it's a person that's dealing with alopecia, you know, and they're calling you because they've seen your work and they like, hey, and you, if I get smart with them, you think they come to me?
Right. And not
You,
everyone's tech savvy.
yeah, girl, I believe that first interaction, whether it's on the phone, on a website, or when they walk into my studio, that first interaction is going to dictate if they come back.
Yeah.
So,
Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you have over 20 years in the game. Bedside manner, please don't discount that. Especially if you're dealing with the illness, the last thing you want to deal with is someone who does not want to speak to you or help you navigate this difficult, just to be able to try to make an appointment is already a big step, let
Hmm.
alone, got to get the by Felicia type of attitude. It's
Yes.
unnecessary. Real quickly, I want to make sure we highlighted this. Talk about hygiene, about skincare, and how long you should keep your makeup and your brushes.
Good question. Well, one thing I notice when I teach personal lessons, I always provide everything for the client, but I tell them bring your makeup bag so I can see what you use. And 9 times out of 10, they got their brushes stuffed in that bag, just bent up any kind of way, and they're filled with powder or whatever, or eyeshadow or shimmer. Um, your brushes should be, if you do your makeup often, you need to wash those brushes often. I don't care if it's just you that's using the brush.
Mm-hmm.
You need to, because it builds up in bacteria.
Yeah.
Um, Invest in good brushes and wash them. What can you wash them with? Shampoo, regular hair shampoo. Um, Lay them flat to dry, or you could, if you got one of those things that you get on Amazon to hang them, you could do that. Take care of your brushes. As far as eyeshadow palettes, those, as long as they're not contaminated, you sharing them, they last a very long time. Mascara, about 90 days. You need to switch that out. Lipstick, probably 6 months to a year if you're using different colors. But yearly, you should be switching out anything that's liquid. I mean, well, 90 days to 6 months, switching that out because liquid holds, contamination from the air and everything like that, pollutants and everything. And sometimes when people get maybe something or a breakout, or they're like, I don't know what's going on with my eye. Well, if you do your makeup often, are you cleaning yourself? Are you?
Mm.
So that part of it is extremely important. And I think that's one thing that a lot of women miss. I always suggest to women buy a bag of those sponges, the disposable sponges. You don't have to keep using your same dingy sponge all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, invest those bags like $2. The more you do that, the better your makeup looks.
Yeah.
Skincare. I don't believe in skipping on skincare. I believe you should use a very good skincare. Yes, right now, like my daughter is, uh, and my son actually, we a skincare house. They do their routine, both of them, and I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to tell them because they've seen the difference on how their skin look when they don't do it and when they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she used to like some Target drugstore brands, CeraVe or Cetaphil or anything like that. But now, yes, I am big on go get you some skincare from Dior.
Mm-hmm.
Try some more Mercier stuff. Try a higher end brand, if especially if you wear makeup often, and even if you don't, invest because in this investment,
Yes.
a good skincare care brand. No, I'm not telling you to go buy 6 products, but at least a cleanser,
Mm-hmm.
uh, moisturizer, toner if you need that, and an eye cream. Because we as women, I mean, I'm in my 40s now.
Mm-hmm.
Our skin starts to change, so do an eye cream, things like that, I and people end up with a lot of products because they don't know how to use it. Well,
Right.
keep it simple
Mm-hmm.
is my thing. Keep it simple. And then as you get more acclimated to using it, then you can add on a serum. Then you can add on exfoliant. Then, get facials. Invest in getting facials. I take my kids to Skinforia, which is in Royal Oak, Black owned. Um, they do amazing skincare. It's also another young lady that I've been following, and I'm getting ready to try a facial with her. I think her name is Aaliyah Nicole. I found her and on Instagram. Her facials look amazing.
Wow.
So I don't think that we do that enough. Invest
Mhm.
in facials and then, like I said, it's an investment. A lot of people say, I don't have time to do all that. It's for you. So
Yeah.
why would you why
The
wouldn't
skin
you
does
do
show it.
yeah, why would you do what's going to help you? Then you can't complain if something happens that you don't like because you didn't invest in yourself. So yeah.
I love it. Listen, I enjoyed having you here. I want you everyone to make sure that they are following you. Make sure you go to Instagram and go to Color Floral Artistry, Facebook, Keisha Barber MUA. Make sure that you are following on those channels, but then you're going on her website. And I want you to not only book a session with her, I'm going to lead the pack. Let's go on her Google reviews and let's leave her a review. If you ever had any services that she's done for you, or you just like the tips that you heard from this show, go on her website, go on Google reviews, because again, you want to make sure that people who are doing quality things are getting seen. So is there anything that's coming up that you want to share?
Well, right now for the Christmas holidays, I am offering gift certificates for people, because a lot of people would like to buy a gift. And I don't just do makeup, I do waxing. I
Oh,
do the permanent brows. Yeah, so they can get their friends, family, significant other a gift certificate. And right before Christmas, I'm considering right now. I'm working the kinks out, doing a special promotion, which is something I really don't do a lot of, because I try to keep my price point in the median
mhm.
for the everyday woman, so I don't really have to do a lot of promotions per se. But I'm thinking about doing that because this year actually have traveled a lot with my daughter, and my clients have been amazing, was still hanging in there with me and supporting me. So
Mhm.
look out for that. It'll probably be on the website, and it will be on my social media pages.
Love it. Again, those are her social media pages there. And then also there is her website. I truly enjoyed having you here. If there's any questions that you guys have, if you are watching this after this live broadcast, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Either myself or Keisha will make sure that we follow up with you. But until next time, listen, guys, next week we're going to talk about hair. So we're still going to stay in the beauty industry, and we're going to talk about how to wear wigs the right way and everything in between. So until next time, you guys take it easy.
Thanks.